Overworlds, the candy-coated gift wrap of gaming. But what exactly is an overworld? There's the tabletop maps used for D&D games, there's the macro maps that transition to towns and dungeons in JRPGs, and there's the open world outside the dungeons of Zelda games, Pokemon games, and everything in between. But the overworlds I'm talking about are world maps and hub worlds. At one time, games that were separated into levels typically just went from one to the other with no context in between them. When Super Mario Bros. 3 came out in 1989, it introduced the concept that has become as endearing as it has ubiquitous, enough to even join the evolution into 3D. Themes, secrets, designs, and of course the gateways to the actual meat of the game, these are the things that compose an overworld, as well as my criteria for ranking the very best of them, cause I'm Nintendo Dope Man, and these are the dopest overworlds.
I will create more worlds here, and those worlds will have worlds!
Chrono Trigger is a game that sends you time traveling through various periods of its world, and it eventually introduces a way cooler time traveling hub world than the one from Crash 3. A lamplit Victorian courtyard housing a dock for the Epoch, a series of white light pillars, the portals to the game's time periods, and the home base for its sole resident Gaspar, Specchio, and any party members not traveling with Chrono. There's honestly way too much story and philosophy behind this tiny area to explain in a spot on a list. One could say there's just not enough time.
See that door right there? One marked pirate. You think a pirate lives in there?
Donkey Kong Country 2 is one of my top 10 games that I play every year. It's a fairly simple structure, climb the tower-like islet world by world, but it's those worlds that are part of what makes this the best Donkey Kong game. The first world is K. Rool's pirate ship, where the final boss of the original took place before crashing back at its port. Already very cool. The first step you take on the island is in a sort of volcanic cave where the Kremlings mine for resources. Working your way through takes you to an older, mysterious shipwreck claimed by marshy swamps. And then out of nowhere, an amusement park surrounded by giant beehives. Then a haunted forest filled with ghosts. Then finally the captain's keep before he tries to escape in his flying aeroplane. Oh, and of course, the Lost World, which is located somewhere inside the island? Can never really tell.
You think a pirate lives in there?
Windy is the hub of Conker's Bad Fur Day, which features set pieces like the infamous signpost, the whiny bee and wasp war, and the landslide of shit, among other colorful little spots, all juxtaposed by a jazzy hillbilly ditty too lighthearted for this fucked up game. It actually feels a bit more like Hyrule Field, in that the areas are actually connected to it like a real place, rather than separate areas traveled to via magic portals or something. They sometimes even loop you back into the hub from a different exit rather than ejecting you from the same entrance. And it slowly goes from morning to noon to night over the course of the game, emphasizing that this is all just one Bad Fur Day. Windy is a neat little hub for a dirty little game.
Come to Whispering Rock Psychic Summer Camp.
Psychonauts is about a kid going to psychic summer camp to hone his psychic abilities. The camp is the hub world, and the minds of his fellow campers and counselors make up the surreal levels of the game. Divided into 5 distinct areas, Whispering Rock Psychic Summer Camp is full of characters, set pieces, and collectibles that make every other summer camp look like Christian summer camp.
They told me this was a summer camp.
A solar system is the perfect idea for an overworld map. The structure is already laid out. Each planet is a level, and the different themes of planets are all unified under the main theme of space. Star Fox 64 takes one giant leap further. There's 15 planet levels, starting at Corneria and finishing at Venom, with 5 other levels in between. Each level has multiple entrances and exits, resulting in 25 different possible routes for a single playthrough. The Lilat system is a creative and ingenious overworld design whose bite-sized campaign gives it natural replay value and a sort of arcade feeling. Diddy Kong Racing deserves props just for evolving the racing genre with a single-player campaign mode that took players to a delightful little island filled with secrets, doorways, and secret doorways. When Timber the Tiger Cub house sits his parents' island during their vacation to DK Island, the nefarious Whizpig seizes the opportunity to conquer the colorful setting. So it's up to the Rareware racers to drive, sail, and fly through the varied environments before blasting off into the space-themed home planet of the alien villain. Which I guess doesn't count as Timber Island, but whatever, cause Taj, a charming little hub world. One of the only Sonic games to feature a hub world is also one of the only good 3D Sonic games. Station Square is weird. Cool, but weird. It's a city where the Sonic characters live, I guess. There's a resort, a tall government building, a burger joint, but it's so weird. And you can't even run fast because it's so cramped and full of stuff to bump into. Entrances to levels for all characters are scattered about, and you'll exit the stage back to the hub in a different location, which often unlocks a new area. But this is only half of the whole weirdness. Board a train at the station anytime to reach the other hub world, the Mystic Ruins, a lush forest growing around Tails' workshop, old mine shafts, and the ancient ruins hiding the pyramid where Knuckles guards the Master Emerald. This area also leads to the third part of the hub, the Egg Carrier, which then circles back to Station Square, which doesn't seem so small anymore. But the weirdest part about this whole thing, it's one of the few good things about 3D Sonic. Spyro is especially notable for having multiple hub worlds called home worlds, which contain portals to the other worlds but are also fully designed levels themselves, with their own gems and dragons or eggs to collect. Autumn Plains is famously the dopest homeworld in the series, and one of the largest. A sorta like futuristic castle that winds around and around with nodes to exterior areas, everywhere packed with most of the game's best levels. From the elegant architecture to the ambient song, Autumn Plains is somehow both peaceful and mysterious, until it ends in what is infamously the hardest boss in the series. And I love how you can fly between the turrets too. And it totally nails the look of Autumn in a Spyro game whose homeworlds are themed around the seasons. There are many kinds of spaceships, and then there's this. The hub world from A Hat in Time is awesome because it bottles the charm of both its game and its genre. Hat Kid's spaceship is like a microcosm of how gamers feel about 3D platformers. It's like an 8-year-old's blueprint for the ultimate treehouse. Timepieces unlock areas of the spaceship that contain levels where you get more timepieces, yada yada yada. There's a bunch of weird, crazy rooms. You can decorate them all with relics. There's a freaking slide! Hat Kid's bedroom has a giant ball pit. This place is literally Chuck E. Cheese in space. DKC2 is both objectively the best DK game and my personal favorite, so you know I'm not being biased when I put this one on top of it. Crocodile Isle is a much cooler setting with cooler worlds and a way cooler song, but functionally, the Northern Cremisphere is the best hub in the Country series. Retro didn't even try to outdo them. It's the ability to freely move around off the beaten level path, the secret caves, the Bear Brothers side quest, Funky's vehicles, and the not-so-lost World. There is so much going on in this hub that you need it to 100% the game. Well, 103%. Whatever. This place kicks ass. Even the people who don't like Super Mario Sunshine probably still like Delfino Plaza. How can you not? It's a downtown area that brings together all the pieces of the island, and not even during the climactic flood is it ever drowned in tenuous hunts for blue coins and red coins. Steal fruit from the local vendors, ride the boats, and be framed for crimes you didn't commit. The way it progresses the story by introducing Yoshi and the other nozzles, the entrances to the levels make as much thematic sense as the levels themselves, rather than just portals or paintings or space cannons. And you can see all these different areas from each other. I know what you're thinking. How can this be better than either of the other two? Well, that's because as iconic as Country Series DK Isle is, I mostly mean this one. DK64's hub world is probably my most nostalgic and favorite from the platforming world. It's treated as a full level of its own, with 5 golden nanners for each Kong, plus that extra one for Tiny. Like Grunty's Lair, Grant Kirkhope composed emotive variations of the same melody for different areas. There's also the surrounding islets, the fairy island, and of course, K. Rool's mechanical island ship tower thing with a doomsday cannon. From DK's treehouse in the starting grove to the final stretch into enemy territory, this whole place just screams to me home. Jumping away from platformers again and into a survival horror game. Fatal Frame 3 anchors the player in Rei Kurosawa's apartment, exploring the room of her dead boyfriend Yu, receiving letters from Kei, developing photos, and gathering information with her roommate and original game protagonist Miku. These are just some of the tasks to complete between the actual meat of the game, and it all happens as their quaint little home grows increasingly haunted. The modern setting brings a nice contrast to the series' usually traditional Japanese architecture, and it's a spooky little hub that evolves as the game progresses. A similar horror hub is the Roivas Mansion from Eternal Darkness. Alex Roivas inherits the estate after her grandfather Edward was killed in it. She finds a study filled with artifacts, including an evil Necronomicon-esque book. Each chapter she reads is a level with different characters and settings, and after each one, the player resumes control of her to search the house for the next chapter, which usually involves a clue from the previous one. With its antique design, clever jump scares, and that haunting anti-melody, the Roivas Mansion is an amazing haunted house setting, and the way it slowly unravels with significant information dumps make each little intermission between chapters much more meaningful.
The mansion has its secrets, I'm sure, and in my time here, I have to make them mine.
I couldn't pick one. I narrowed it down to 3 and still couldn't pick one. So I just said,
alright, fudge it.
and picked the whole game. Why not? It's the game that created the concept of world maps and hub worlds, as well as the whole grass world, desert world, water world, you get it. Also, I give myself at least one cheat with every list, so whatever. Sometimes I love these little maps more than the levels themselves. I love the song from Grasslands, I love the pyramids from Kupahari Desert, I love sailing that little boat to all the item houses in Seaside, the tower in the sky, the ice world, the annoyingly elaborate pipe maze, and the gauntlet of weirdo levels in Bowser's 4-part lair. I love all the secrets and challenges and layouts and everything about every one of these little chibi charts. As iconic as the kingdoms of the Mushroom World are, there's something extra special about Dinosaur Land. The setting of Super Mario World and continent of Yoshi's Island is so colorful and playful and ingrained in the mind and memory of every kid lucky enough to grow up in the SNES era. There's different songs for certain areas and a unifying theme for the larger world. Opening pathways causes cosmetic changes that feel like seismic shifts in the earth, and in typical hungry Yoshi fashion, the whole place is themed after food. The sunken airship, the top secret area, the star world, the secret world. There's so much to love about Dinosaur Land. I used to fucking draw this place. This was the first overworld to truly feel as alive as the worlds it oversaw. One of the best parts of the first 3D Kirby game, Forgotten Lands, was Waddle Dee Town. Technically, the overworld of this game is the world map, and you can also just go anywhere from anywhere thanks to the level select menu. So while Waddle Dee Town doesn't fill the hub world's primary purpose as a focal point connecting all the game's levels, it still serves the other purposes of a hub world, and it just feels like one. And it's so awesome. It starts as a quiet little grove, but as Kirby progresses through the game and rescues more and more Waddle Dees, they populate the area and build a surprisingly lively small town. Request a song from the local band, change and upgrade transformations, shop for various items, play several minigames, gamble at 4-tiered gacha machines and fill Kirby's house with collectibles, fight Meta Knight and other bosses in the Coliseum, and of course, say hello to everyone. This place is just too cute. This one's a two-parter because whenever I talk about one of these games, I have to talk about the other. Astro's Playroom was a small little demo game meant to show the features of the PS5 and its controller, and it took that assignment very literally. The hub world is a PS5. It branches out into 4 levels, which are also the major console components, and leads to a back room full of gaming paraphernalia and memorabilia. Murals made from puzzle pieces and every single product in PlayStation history, scattered both in the levels and a gacha machine. But that glorious tech demo walked just so a fully realized sequel could run. Astrobot is the proper Astro game, and its hub world is a single planet dubbed the Base, and this place is awesome. The PS5 from the Playroom towers in the center. All the bots you save in each level throughout the game come back here for a total of like 300 something. A bunch of them are characters from other IPs who can be upgraded with a special item or animation in the gacha machine, which also has costumes for Astrobot and colors for his controller ship. Unlockable areas, the safari park, the final gauntlet. This whole place feels kinda like Waddle Dee Town, and you can interact and command all the bots like a Pikmin game. It's so cute. The Base and the PS5 are like non-stop parties, a celebration of PlayStation. Some would say that this is the greatest hub world of the greatest 3D platformer, Grunty's Lair, and by extension Spiral Mountain, is iconic. It's also very well designed. The fantastical set pieces, the unforgettable and ever-changing song, and Grunty's sister talking mad shit.
The fat one.
She's not that fat. Yeah, she's pretty fat, dude. Good one, Witch.
Many people would rank it higher than this, but halfway through, I also found it a bit confusing and windy. Still, there's no denying, it's definitely top 10 quality. Most Zelda games do not have hub worlds, and while Skyward Sword has its issues, Skyloft is not one of them. Well, okay, the sky does have some issues like flying and some mediocre side quests, but overall, I think it's amazing. At the near start of the Zelda timeline, the goddess Hylia tore this sacred chunk of land from the earth and sent it to the sky for protection, until the first incarnations of Link and Zelda embark on an adventure that includes traveling between the sky and the earth, some other decent side quests, the bazaar shops, the item upgrade system, the music, all the other islands, the Thunderhead, the Leviathan boss fight, the final silent trial, the final dungeon, and claiming the Triforce to wish for the reunification of heaven and earth. After the final boss, Link and Zelda stay on this land that will become the Kingdom of Hyrule, and the remains of the Sky Islands and its denizens likely become the City in the Sky dungeon and Picori from Twilight Princess, and possibly some of the various skylets in Tears of the Kingdom. The sky in Skyward Sword is an absolutely amazing hub world on all levels from gameplay to story. The best Paper Mario, unsurprisingly, contains the best hub world in the series. Rogueport is dilapidated buildings, shady characters, gang warfare, and the ruins of an ancient city lurking in the sewers below. This place is literally Italy, which kinda makes sense. Mario unfolds its various districts and secrets throughout the game until he finally reaches its darkest bowels at the very end. Like everything else in Thousand Year Door, Rogueport just has that X factor. This impoverished district of the Mushroom Kingdom is one of the many reasons fans won't shut the fuck up about this game. Rightly so. Yooka-Laylee was a decent game, but not the Banjo 3E quality title we waited so long for. Its sequel, however, was an awesome little Donkey Kong Country style game that we didn't even expect. There's like 40-something levels, and these levels are spread about an overworld so damn charming and large and dense. Explore the full world from overhead style, reunite with characters from the original game, gather all the different collectibles to solve all the different puzzles to uncloud the entire map. This game has such a brilliant structure. It's a platformer with a Link to the Past style world map. That is one of those ideas so amazing, it makes you wonder how you didn't think of something so obvious. So the original Banjo-Kazooie took place in their home grove of Spiral Mountain, and more so in Grunty's lair and the worlds within. The sequel, Banjo-Tooie, then revealed that the entire place was just one area of an even bigger, more open hub world called the Isle o' Hags. The levels are massive and interconnected as if they were extensions of the hub world. You have to unlock the levels by using the jiggies you collect in actual jigsaw puzzles, and of course, on top of all that, it's given the full course treatment of being its own level, with jiggies and jinjos and whatnots. And it's full of other secrets, unlockables, challenges, and plot points. I adored the continuity in this small series, and the Isle o' Hags is a big reason why. Easily one of the dopest overworlds ever. Peach's Castle, inarguably the most iconic, nostalgic, perfect hub world in the world. For many of us, our first experience with 3D games was running around the front garden designed for that practical purpose, until we opened that door to be welcomed by that sinister laugh, followed by that gorgeous song with a dark undertone that almost mirrors the castle itself. Just another perfect Koji Kondo classic that perfectly captures the feeling of the location. Unlocked in 4 well-paced phases, everything from that iconic first floor, to the 3 hat abilities, to draining the moat and climbing the endless stairs is so naturally memorable and iconic. From front yard to courtyard, basement to attic, white towers and red turrets, Peach in the stained glass and Yoshi on the roof, Peach's castle has become an emblematic setting and set piece reoccurring in the entire Mario series, a magical world whose walls hold dark secrets. Mostly as paintings leading to other worlds where the only thing standing between Mario and 120 power stars is fun. Perfect, nostalgic, timeless fun.
Help me! Help! Let me out of here!
There's something going on in this room.
Room 302 from Silent Hill 4, The Room. Henry Townsend has been living in this apartment for 2 years. Suddenly, he starts suffering from a recurring nightmare, until the day he wakes up to find his front door chained from the inside. Things get even weirder when a hole appears in his bathroom wall, acting as a portal to the levels of the game. Despite being trapped inside, it ironically feels like a haven for the first half of the game, the only place of respite from Walter's nightmare worlds. It even compels you to save all your items by regenerating your health bar. However, once the game's second half strikes, things take a complete turn, as Room 302 increasingly becomes haunted, and health is no longer auto-healed. You need to use saint medallions and holy candles to exorcise these hauntings to avoid both the damage that is now inflicted and the bad endings. There's so many little details that make the room feel lived in. Checking on the outside world, spying on his hot neighbor Eileen, receiving notes from under the door, interacting with every single thing, even technical functions like saving and inventory management. And there's so many amazing plot points that naturally involve the room. Joseph's nightmare as the prologue, excavating the second portal when the first one is sealed without warning, and finally setting yourself free. Inhabiting the very subtitle of the game, its significance is as obvious as its execution is flawless. Silent Hill is my favorite series, and 4 was the first one I discovered. It's the special black sheep of the Team Silent era for so many reasons, and one of those reasons, the very centerpiece of the game, the haunted apartment of Room 302 in South Ashfield Heights, is the dopest overworld of all time. I have a long list of ideas for videos about lists, and this is one I've been really looking forward to. I just love the concept of world maps and hub worlds in video games. I don't know why, I just do, okay? I have a stupid, dumb monkey brain and they make me happy. So if they make your dumb monkey brain happy too, hit the like button, leave a comment, and sub to the channel for more dumb monkey videos.
I will create more worlds.